Oh, we doing the paper sack? Right now.
Oh, yeah, paper sack. I like it.
Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alfonso, and this is Ryan.
I'm Paisley.
And we Can't Argue With That. We're going to hit you off with some football, some Nike, and just some great fun today. Right. But without further ado, first and foremost, the New York Jets. You know their star quarterback and the leader of his franchise. He couldn't buy beer until June 5th of this year. I'm talking about Sam Darnold. Congrats to him. At just 21 years old, he's locked up a starting job with the New York Jets.
Shout out to Sam.
Shout out.
You already know who it's all about, though, bro. Still, it's Carolina Panthers. I got quit. So did Run CMC do enough to prove himself to the Panthers faithful this preseason under offensive coordinator North Turner to let y'all know that he's not more than a scat back, Bones?
Scat back.
As I would say, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? That's no pun intended. Shout out to Marshall Mathers, though. By the way, man, did you hear that new album he dropped?
I can't argue with anything you say.
Bars.
I'll give him props. Honestly, I'll give him props. But how about that? Will the real Robert Quinn stand up in Miami?
Oh, I'll tell you that Quinn certainly gave us that work in the preseason.
Yeah, he did.
He did. How about will the Seahawks give in to the Cowboys and fork over that All-Pro safety Earl Thomas?
You're telling me. I would like it.
And as well, we'll close it out with some predictions for this season,
Right. And believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. The controversial Nike ad that has some people burning and destroying their sneakers and gear, and some running to the stores for more. That is the hot topic today. Colin Kaepernick, Nike. Let's argue.
All right, so you already know that I'm Alfonso, and this is Paisley, and this is Ryan, and we Can't Argue With That. And man,
let's start off with this, okay? We'll get right into it. Let's talk about this protest. It's back bigger than ever now that Nike has publicly shown their support of Colin Kaepernick. Now, let's start off with the foundation of this protest, right? It's usually misrepresented as a disrespect to the flag or the anthem. And going into week one of the 2018-2019 season, the protest is back bigger than ever now that Nike is publicly supporting Colin Kaepernick. What do you make of this, Ryan?
My first thought was that I was shocked. That was the first thing that came to mind. But it was a very happy shock, though. I would say so far in the last 2.5 years, ever since Kaepernick has been playing, I feel like he's really been shining not the most, positive of lights. But now this is a very positive light that's now shining on Cap. Happy to see it. Hopefully that means we're taking a step towards the right direction. So I'm happy to see it.
Right.
Happy to see it.
Very true.
Happy to see it. What about you, Fawn?
I'm ecstatic to see it, man. I'm ecstatic to see it.
I like that enthusiasm.
I mean, I don't know. I was so surprised. I was floored by it.
Right, I was shocked.
But the only thing about it is that people may be making too much of it because Nike typically, wants to get the younger crowd and the edgy. They want to be edgy and they want to come off like, hey, we're the stuff. Like, I'm not a role model, Charles Barkley. You remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this isn't new. And then with Tiger Woods, they had him going into the predominantly white country clubs, and they weren't letting him in because he was Tiger. And then the undisclosed feature was he was a black guy.
Right.
So
that was one of Nike's.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And then they had Serena Williams with that bodysuit. Yeah.
Well, it's basically proven that Nike is obviously outside the box, but let me just go back and to be clear, the protest is about police brutality. It's not about being disrespectful to the flag or the anthem. What has happened now is the country has become under the awful guise of president, or I'll say 45. When he was, on it, he ran away with the whole idea, like, oh, they're disrespecting the flag. Like, he took it and ran with it. My theory is the reason why he took that and ran with it, even though that's not the original reason for the protest, was to create a distraction from the Russia investigation.
Right.
There's a lot of distractions he's trying to create.
Right.
Now, what is the president saying, if anything, about this recent Nike public support for Colin Kaepernick?
Well, to be honest with you, he's going pretty soft. When initially, the only thing he said is Nike pays a lot of rent in my Trump Tower on the first floor.
Yeah,
That's
the main thing.
Yeah, that was
he
the
kind
main
of
thing.
disagrees. He said it was like terrible or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But that was during the interview, about the ad featuring Colin Kaepernick. But that's all he said in that interview. But one thing out of this is that my fellow receiver, shout out to Ricky Johnson. He initially said, let me get this quote correct now. He said, America has never moved based on a guilty conscience. I know I say this every time, but America has never moved based on a guilty conscience. America has moved when its bottom line is effective. Well, summarily, Nike is at the bottom line of a lot of these checks in businesses. They got a contract with LeBron James. They got a contract. Get this, they have a contract with the military. You have an option to get some combat boots that look eerily similar to the Jordan 10s or 11s.
Oh yeah.
Check that on the internet now. Then they have with the NFL jerseys. Where my Nike at? Somewhere. Yeah. So I mean, they got it locked down, man. They got it locked down. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I was expecting, as far as Trump, I was expecting him to be on fire with Twitter about Nike supporting. And people are saying that Nike was already supporting them. It just went public because Colin Kaepernick's case against the NFL about collusion is actually moving forward. So he's having more validation in the court system about the NFL teams conspiring to keep him out of the league. So Nike was like, well, it looks like this is going to really go out the box and we're going to be on the right side of history. So I think it's a smart move by them, obviously, as far as marketing. But again, they are going to appear to be on the right side of history. And I'm happy that Colin Kaepernick is getting his coins deposits.
Cap, all the deposits, Cap. I like that. See, I see what you did there. I like that.
From Nike, right?
NFL money.
And then for these dummies who appear to be burning their shoes and cutting off their swooshes, first of all, y'all stupid. Why y'all destroying gear that y'all already bought? Nike already got their coins, deposits.
Exactly.
And in addition to that, I hear Nike is also the sponsor for NFL and one of the official sponsors. So they still getting coins on every angle.
Right. Exactly.
Every single thing.
If it ain't about the money.
Exactly. So one thing about it is Trump's Twitter fingers were moving again. They were moving again now because he actually said, just like the NFL, whose ratings have gone way down, fake news. Nike is getting absolute because every single show's ratings are going down because we have something else to do with our time. It's called a tablet or an iPad, or
did you know television ratings are down across the board?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's watching TV anymore.
Yeah, exactly. No one's watching TV anymore. But let me finish this line from Donald Trump, 45. Excuse me.
45.
He said, Nike is getting absolutely killed with anger and boycotts. I wonder if they had any idea that it would be this way. As far as the NFL is concerned, I just find it hard to watch and always will until they stand for the flag.
Oh my gosh. He's salty because back in the day they wouldn't even let him be an owner of an NFL team.
That's exactly why.
That's exactly why.
Let's talk about what it really is, Trump. Why you really mad?
Exactly.
Well, let's bring it about the flag. Again, it's about police brutality. So I don't know. What's their end game at the end of the day?
End game, I feel like both Kaepernick and Nike will come up from this. Kaepernick, like I said earlier, previously, he wasn't shining the most positive lights, but now this is good. And he actually has a commercial coming on tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. During tomorrow's game, Eagles versus Falcons, they will be airing the Nike Colin Kaepernick commercial. Very excited about that.
Deep.
Nike will also, I really believe that their angle is going to be, we might lose 2-3 customers, but we might gain 5, 6, 7 which AKA, as my girl Paisley would say, deposits, which is, that's what it's all about. So,
And the thing about it is, you understand that they're trading the old people that will die for young people.
For young people
who don't have jobs yet, who are going to get jobs or are in college. Like, these are all of the people who are there appealing to. You know what I mean? Those are the people they're appealing to. But I wanted to bring up another point. And this is another reiteration of something that we established on one of the initial shows. But
hold on, wait. Let me just make a suggestion though. For those of you who know somebody who is destroying their Nike gear and they don't want their shoes and whatever anymore, this PSA is for those of you who typically say they care about the veterans or the same ones burning and destroying their Nike gear. How about you give some of that Nike gear that you hate so much to those veterans that you claim to care so much about? To those homeless people. How about you do that? Let's do something useful. That's my PSA.
PSA. Mic drop.
We said we were going to be easy, Paisley.
Well, I just thought I'd give up.
You said it hard and it was...
I
liked it.
Right.
I think that's a great suggestion.
Oh, it is a great suggestion. So I'm going to get dark. I'm going to get dark for y'all. And for the people who are watching that are like, oh, what are these guys doing? I want to make sure that we're establishing what this all boils down to. Let me give you the original lyrics of the national anthem, and while we're all caught in arms. So, okay, it doesn't. This is old language, so forgive me. The blood has washed out their foul footsteps, pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror or flight or gloom of the grave, and the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave, o'er the lands of the free and the home of the braves.
So this is the third stanza that they took out of the national anthem, by the way.
Yeah, so, and check this out. I bring this to the song Molly Percocets. When you heard Molly Percocets, well, my son actually sung Molly Percocets, and I was like, do I want to actually address this or let it go? I addressed it. But however, the next week he was in the car with me and Molly Percocets came on, and you know what they did the next week? They said, represent, gotta represent. You know what I mean? Yeah, they took out Molly Percocets, but guess what? It's still the same song. And my son still sung Molly Percocets. That's the same, that's drawing it back to the Star-Spangled Banner. You can't just take out a stanza and think all is forgiven, because people will always remember the origin, you know what I mean?
Right. A lot of them not familiar, but you're right. That meaning is still there.
I bet Cat knows.
Cat.
Shout out to Cat. Shout out to Nike. Shout out to Cat. Yeah, all that.
Okay, well, earlier we were on the subject of capitalism at its best, and so we want to speak about some of the players that have gotten their deposits. So Odell, despite the footage, got paid. A-Rod, despite the injuries, got paid. Aaron Donald of the Rams got paid. Then Khalil Mack of the Bears got more paid. So Ryan, who do you think is the best under pressure?
Whew. Good Lord, that's a lot of money all there. Shout out, man. Shout out. This season, I'm going to say the player that's under the most pressure, though, I got to give it to who many would deem that bad man, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers is good, but I'm not on his boat or his float or whatever you call it to say he's the GOAT of all time. Yeah. Is there a quarterback that gets more excuses made for them, man? It's been 10 years since he went to the Super Bowl.
Very true.
To me, it's either time to put up or shut up. He got his money. Yeah. He's the highest paid player in the league as far as, the guaranteed money goes.
I want to shout out to a couple of our viewers real quick. What's up, Theo? He said, where y'all cowhoes talking, y'all taking y'all L this weekend.
Talking reckless.
Durden said,
we didn't even get to the predictions yet.
Shout out, Theo.
We didn't get to the predictions yet. Oh, boy.
Theo.
Oh, boy.
Meet me outside.
How about
and bring your pocketbook.
Oh.
I know you got a pocketbook. You ain't got no wallet.
Oh.
Wait, speaking of that, did you have some type of bet you wanted to?
Oh, yeah, I do. We bet Gatorade or something like that. I don't want to do that. I want to bet your pride. I want to take your pride away.
Pride aside?
Yeah, and I want to risk my
pride.
Give up your pride. I have a shirt. I have a shirt. You wear this jersey.
Oh,
you wear my
right.
Cowboy shirt. Next week on this show,
Not gonna happen.
if we win,
Okay.
if
I'm
we
not
lose, I'll wear any Cam Newton or whatever, and you know, whatever. I'll wear your
That's easy.
paraphernalia.
We win. All right.
All right.
Just like
So we do
that.
We do that?
Check on it.
Check on it. I appreciate that. Thank you for
All
saying
right,
that. I forgot
all
about
right.
that. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Okay. So moving along with Mac, the Bears will get a 2020 second round pick and a conditional 2020 fifth round pick. The Raiders will get the 2019 first round pick, 2020 first round pick, 2020 third round pick, and the sixth round pick of 2019 per Adam Schefter. Who won, Alfonso?
Well, honestly, I'm not certain who won because I thought that the Raiders wanted to win now because based off last season, they were a quarterback away from winning potentially the Super Bowl. So I thought they were going to pick up where they left off and keep their max players, keep whomever, and I thought they were going to go ahead and ride off in the sunset. But they chose to play for the future because if you're getting rid of Khalil Mack for first round draft picks, yeah, it's a smart trade for the Raiders, but not for now.
By the way, can I tell our viewers something?
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders didn't really get 2 first round picks.
First and second, right?
You know why? Because they essentially swapped a second, third, and fifth round pick for their first round pick. So that 2020, they get 2019 first round pick and 2020 first round pick. That's the lead. But in 2020, they get their first round pick, but then they get the they get the Raiders second round pick, third round pick, fifth round pick. So yeah, so about that. About that. Now it sounds so good because you also don't know where they're picking.
Exactly.
So that first round pick 28, second round pick number 33.
Well, I know they're not going to be. They're not going to be good.
I mean,
They're not going to be good.
Saying,
Let's be realistic.
Not the greatest of picks, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
Well, since we've spoken about pressure and how some of these guys' pockets from earlier, let's examine their power. Ryan, give me your power rankings and why. Like, give me your top 5.
Top 5 power rankings. Going into the season. Give me number 5. Hey. Going into the season, I'm going to say the 5th ranked team going into the season. I'll go with those Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll go Pittsburgh number 5. Although I got to say, that was sort of my thought process as of when I woke up this morning when I thought their running back number 26 was going to be there. Turns out Pittsburgh fans got bad news. Not showing up till maybe Halloween at the earliest because he wants his deposits.
They never want to deposit in his account
Never,
without asking.
never. That one's got a bag.
He's like third time he's in a row.
He got begged for it. He got begged for it.
Please,
Baby, you know, please.
He keeps on the contract, but he prints on the dance floor.
Right.
Because he dancing around them holes now.
Right. So number 5, I got the give me those Steelers. Number 4, I'm gonna go with those Saints. That is a team that swept us 3 times last year. Still feel some type of way about that. Number 3, I'm gonna have to go with those Vikings. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go with the Super Bowl winners, Eagles. And number 1, until further notice, until Tom Brady falls off that cliff that seems to never come, I gotta give the Patriots number 1. I truly feel if me and you was out there playing with Tom Brady, bro, we'd get 80 balls, 1,000 yards.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm confident.
Yeah.
I'm confident in that.
Okay, so needless to say, no Cowboys.
No Cowboys.
I'm not surprised.
No Cowboys.
Well, let's speak in your boys for a second. We know Dez Bryant remains unsigned
Oh, man.
going into the season.
Dez. Don't thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
what do you think of?
Well, the big thing about that is that out of all of the moves that we've made, we have not made a move to improve on the position. So we don't have out of all our receivers. Forgive me if I'm wrong, Cowboy Nation, but I don't think that we've replaced Dez Bryant. I think that Dez Bryant can do better than each of those receivers. So I'm extremely disappointed in Jerry Jones, and I need Jerry Jones to give up his first, second round pick. He needs to do it. He has to do it because today we just got word a few hours ago that our boy Earl Thomas reported for camp today.
Yeah, so that's
Okay,
out.
so
That's out to Luke.
No, it's not out. It's not out.
He reported that means he's gonna be on Seattle. Really? Yeah, that's what that means. That means he's gonna play for Seattle. I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw that, but the Cowboys did offer a second round pick.
And they didn't take it?
And Seattle said, we want more. So it was third.
So you should have took the money you could have got.
So Jerry did raise his offer to second round pick, and they said no. We hate him going to camp, so.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yee. So
That's horrible. That is horrible. So, well, I guess we'll go on to the Panthers.
Oh, Cam.
Yeah.
Oh, Cam.
So, I want to reiterate our little teaser. So, has he solidified his stance as an actual every down back? I see him running between the tackles.
Oh, is that Run CMC Christian McCaffrey now?
Yeah, Eminem.
Eminem on running backs?
Yeah, man, Eminem.
The only thing I can say is North Turner coached somebody near and dear to your heart who had a Hall of Fame career. Some might argue he's the greatest of all time. The GOAT, they might say. That boy wore number 22 on the Cowboys. He coached number 21 for the Chargers. Tomlinson. I ain't saying what I'm saying, man. The boy know how to coach a talented running back.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. He 7.2 yards a carry in between the tackles. He doesn't have a lot of sweeps on his repertoire. He doesn't have
He ran up the middle.
Yeah, he
saw
ran
it.
up the middle almost every time.
He housed it.
Guess what? I have a stat for you. I have a stat that's going to shut me up. But
Ooh,
he ran inside, meaning in between the tackles, on 89% of his runs.
During the
preseason, yeah.
That's what
crazy.
I like. That's what I
crazy.
like. That's what I like.
Like Ezekiel Elliott wouldn't have even done that if he played. Come on, Cowboys.
Oh.
It's cool. We can be all right. But just check this out.
Yeah.
One thing about it is, I say that preseason is not indicative of the regular season. I said that about 50 times. Hey, don't worry about me. Come on.
Right, it's practice.
Yeah, it's practice. Yes.
Which, by the way, preseason, you do know who usually says that phrase, right? Fans of teams who didn't play well during the preseason.
Well, I know who didn't say that last year because the Browns went 4-0 and they were riding high and they were like, yes, we got it. And guess what? 0-16. So, based on that analysis, we're gonna go 16-0.
Okay, well, as
Book
you
it.
know, we're gonna move on. We suffered some injuries, for our team, and some would say like the most important position.
Cam hurt?
I'm speaking of. Okay, so how assure you that the offensive line is truly solid, and hopefully we'll have Derek.
What are you talking about offensive line? Oh, I thought you were talking about Cam. Y'all talking about more support.
All right, so
it's
it's been a rough offseason for offensive linemen, man. I gotta say, it's almost like we were infected with like a virus or something.
Exactly.
For those of you who don't know, we lost our starting right tackle, who was rated the highest rated right tackle in the game last season, Darrell Williams. That's right, over whoever the Cowboys' overrated right tackle is. We had number one right tackle, contrary to popular belief, Darrell Williams. He was hurt. But guess what? He's back practicing.
Back at it again.
Our left guard, thought to be lost for the season, back practicing.
Back at it again.
Our turnstile left tackle protecting Cam's blind side, nepotism at its finest, Ryan Khalil's younger brother, Matt Khalil. He's out on injured reserve. But guess what?
What?
That one doesn't worry me. And would you like to know why, Panthers fans? Honestly, he's just not very good. So I mean, I've been ready to see someone else try. What is he gonna do? Give up a sack? And that's what Matt Khalil does well. So but we really do have a second round pick, Taylor Moton, who's gonna be starting to protect Cameron's blind side. He was rated very highly in the preseason, so I'm hoping that carries over to the regular season. And we play the Cowboys in week 1. And do I look nervous? Think not. Who y'all got? DeMarcus Lawrence? I mean, whatever. Randy Gregory, if he could lay off the weed, then maybe I'll be worried about him. Something tells me in between Texas and Charlotte, he might need a little pick-me-up or something.
Yeah.
He might, fail the test in pregame or something. I don't know.
Knock on wood.
Him and Rico Gathers, they hang out.
Knock on wood.
So you already know how that goes.
Knock on wood, please.
Why? Because I want him to mess. I mean,
I hope the audience didn't see
him and Rico be hanging out, boys. So it's cool.
Yeah.
By the way,
did you break the news?
Which one? Rico Gathers was seen hanging out with Martavis Bryant, Josh Gordon, and Randy Gregory.
Tell them the true story.
They're all best friends.
Tell them the true story, though.
They're all suspended for the season.
No.
Well, Rico Gathers was pulled over for possession of marijuana.
Simple possession.
Right.
Simple.
Right. Okay. And what's the dude on the Browns? Hard Knocks dude. Who gave the Antonio Callaway, him too. They were all hanging out together.
Nice.
Le'Veon Bell too, because he has a habit too. So.
But he's holding out though.
Right.
That's why he's holding out. He's got some here.
Right.
He's like, hold up.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I got y'all in a little bit.
But yeah, so Fonz, I gotta ask you though.
Yes, sir.
All joking aside, I know that our line is nicked up, your line is nicked up. What is your prediction for the game? Give me a score.
Yeah.
28-24.
Who?
Cowboys.
We're giving up 4 touchdowns?
Oh yeah.
How do you? It's not enough for you to say 4 touchdowns. I need to know how y'all are coming into these four touchdowns. Zeke is gonna score 4 at times. Dak's scoring 4 times. Tell
Dak's
me.
gonna score once.
Okay.
Zeke's gonna score 3.
Zeke going 3 times. We had a top 5 rushing defense last year,
I don't care.
and we added another Pro Bowl tackle to the defensive line. And you're missing your All-Pro center.
Yeah, we got it though.
Yes, you said it.
I'm not gonna let logic get
So
in the way
what's
of
your
my
score
argument.
then? What's your
My score of the game. 1, 2, 3. Give me Panthers. 27-17.
27-7.
BP.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so rookie of the year, we got my rookie of the year pick, I believe, this year. I'm gonna go with my dude from the Patriots, running back, Sony.
Think so?
Michelle, yeah. I'm gonna go Sony Michelle on the Patriots.
Nice.
And the defensive rookie of the year is that boy on the Broncos, Bradley Chubb. Him on one side, Vaughn on the other side. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, as well, I want to break down these games. Let's go ahead and pick them right quick.
Okay.
All right, tomorrow. Do you realize the season is upon us?
I'm excited, man.
It
You
starts
excited?
tomorrow at 8:20.
I'm still not watching, so that's why I'm quiet back. I don't watch football. I'm protesting.
All right.
Come on.
Well, so since you're not watching, who's going to win tomorrow? Falcons versus Eagles. Do you have any opinion on that?
No.
Okay. Ryan, Falcons versus Eagles.
I got the Falcons winning tomorrow.
Okay.
Only because the Eagles looked rough in the preseason. I know they say preseason's not indicative of regular season, which is true, but I mean they look pretty rough in the preseason. I don't think they'll have a bad regular season, but first game Thursday night, hype. They're at home, short week.
You know what I want to see? I'm excited to see Darren Sproles again.
I don't know, man. He's 34.
He's pretty old.
Pretty old running back.
Yeah.
But I did forget he was coming back, and he was one of my favorite running backs.
Exactly.
And I always wanted the Panthers to sign him. Like he's always, he's like one of those guys that's like doesn't cost much, but can make a really huge difference.
Exactly.
Like, who did
he's like a gadget back, like Christian McCaffrey.
Except Christian McCaffrey.
I'll just
to set the world on fire this season. Should go very high in your fantasy draft if you haven't drafted already.
Are we doing that? Are we doing a fantasy draft?
I mean, we got less than 24 hours for sure.
All right, we'll get on that. We're gonna get on the fantasy tonight. Can't argue with that fantasy. Let's go. All right. So next time we have on Sunday Bills and Ravens. Who you got?
Ravens.
All right.
Jags at Giants.
I got the Jags all day.
Question.
all day.
How excited do you see Jalen Ramsey versus the newly highly paid OBJ?
Oh man, I'm excited as I don't know what because OBJ he's got to be more mature. You know what I mean? He's got to be more mature. He's got to stop kissing, kicking nets and fighting, kicking nets. He's got to be more mature. So with that being said, the first time someone talks about his mama, he can't.
Question: will there be any altercation between the two of them? Both of them recently have been involved in on the field fist fights.
What
Jalen Ramsey fought our boy AJ Green last year.
Oh yeah.
Your boy Josh Norman fought OBJ a couple years ago.
Exactly.
So we know they can get up in someone's head and make it feel some type of way on the football field.
That's a good point.
Helmets on, pads on. Hey, it don't even matter. Swings? Yes or no?
No swings.
No swings. Is that because it's game one, or is that because OBJ got his money?
OBJ got his money, so he ain't mad.
He's not
He's not mad. He's not mad.
bro.
Like, hey, he'll be like, forget your mama. He'll be like,
I'm good.
hey, he'll be like Johnny Manziel.
He'll be like deposits.
Yeah, that's all he
Okay.
can do. That's all he can do. That's all I see happening, man.
Okay,
That's all
solid.
I see happening.
I'm very excited to see that game.
All right, so Buccaneers Saints. Saints.
Yes, man.
Without a
this
doubt.
is-
Hey man, shout out to Jamal, man. I'm sad for you, man. Why would you start with one of the best teams in the league?
Is Crablex playing?
Nope. He gonna be sitting the bench. He might even be sitting the bench. He might be
Yeah.
sitting somewhere else. He might be
Yeah.
at home. Texas Patriots.
Patriots.
Okay.
Or I take it that the Patriots are home.
Yep.
Yeah, Patriots.
49ers Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah. I think Vikings are gonna get this one. Titans versus Dolphins.
Titans.
Okay.
Falcons are sorry. Bengals, Colts. The return of Andrew Luck.
Bengals.
Bengals?
Still Bengals.
Los? Is Los gonna end Luck season real quick? That's
He
my
might.
question.
He might.
The question is,
He
you
might.
know we didn't add Los to that list of players that got paid, but shout out to Los
Oh yeah, shout out to Los.
for getting paid.
45 million.
40,
For his.
5 over 3. I like it. I like it.
I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it in a second.
Take that.
Steelers and Browns.
Upset special. Browns.
Oh, you been watching Hard Knocks too.
I've been watching Hard
You've been watching Hard
Knocks.
Knocks
Following
too
Greg
much,
Williams. Hey, you already know the Browns. They do not stretch. I like that. I do not like my team stretching coming out the tunnel. We're gonna be tight.
No karaoke.
No karaoke.
high
No
knees.
tight. No high knees. We
Okay.
come out there. We gonna play.
All right.
Tighten
all
up.
right.
I like it. And Le'Veon Bell's not playing.
Oh yeah, very true.
So, all right.
Very true. Nice.
Chiefs Chargers division rivalry.
Man, I got the Chargers all day.
Patty Mahomes.
This is going to be the start of a long winning streak. I can't say it's going to be 16-0 or anything like that, but they're going to start a winning streak on September 9th.
That's
Guaranteed.
assuming the Chargers got a brand new kicker. They won't start off.
Well, we don't have a brand new kicker.
Oh, Brian, y'all, how do you feel about losing your kicker a day before the
And
season
then I
started?
thought he was bracing up because you know Jerry Jones is cheap. We're the most lucrative franchise in history, but we're the cheapest. But I thought that he was going ahead and bracing up, like, hey, I'm trying to save some money so we can go and lunge out for Earl Thomas. And
That sucks.
But he just did
That
that and didn't make any more moves. Not
What?
one more move has been
I'm
made since
curious,
that.
why would you trade? Why would you
The
cut?
most accurate kicker.
Like, I'm telling you, as a football, I was thinking about football, man. It sucks to have like a sorry kicker. You be like 45, like I don't know if he's gonna make it.
Exactly.
I guess we gotta go for it on 4th and 9.
Exactly.
I guess.
And we used to have a kicker who all we got to do is get to the 40-yard line.
Was he?
The other team's 40-yard line, and we could kick it. You know what I mean?
Do you know if he wasn't good last year? Was he not good?
He
Was
did
slipping?
go in the slump at the end. He did go in the slump.
Like what type of slump? Like
He missed like 4 field goals in a row.
like a cut worthy slump? You thought?
No, most definitely not.
Okay.
Because if you're the most accurate kicker, I don't know how they got that statistic, but statistically he's the most accurate kicker. I heard it millions of times. He's the most accurate kicker in league history.
Right.
And we cut him.
Okay. Cut it. Okay.
I think I don't want to talk about this anymore.
All right.
I don't want to talk about this until we get on the.
All right. Who's next?
We have Chiefs and Chargers, Seahawks and Broncos. Who you got? Come on, this is obvious, man. Get quick, man. Get quick.
Seattle.
All right.
Okay.
Cowboys and Panthers. Cowboys.
Killer Cam.